Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we should have already created a Lego block using Autodesk Inventor. Autodesk Inventor is our CAD software. CAD stands for Computer Aided Design. It's a software that we'll be using to create some of the designs that we imagine. So there's a nice little project where you're going to make a toy block. So imagine you've been hired, Willy Wonka is a candy company. Well, imagine Willy Wonka's decided that they're going to start creating toys to sell to boys and girls. So this is a toy block that if you have a younger brother or sister, they might look at. They might use it to learn some letters or maybe learn some basic words like toy. Of course, if a young child's going to play with it, it can't have sharp edges. So some of the criteria is you're going to have to learn how to round or fillet the edges. It should be colorful to help kids learn colors. And it should have a letter or a word on every surface. So a couple of mine are blank, but I'll fix that. So I'm going to go through the process of you designing your own toy block. Start to think about what you want it to look like, what colors you might want, and I'll show you how to do that. And you can watch this video as many times as you need, and you'll make your own. Here we go. So the first thing I do is I always go back to home. So from home we go new part. You can either click here or you can come up here where it says new. No, not there. Here, or you can come up here to the top and you can go new part. This is what you start from. It's a blank grid. Then you're going to start a new sketch. So at this point I just click on the pictures, not the words. And when you start the new sketch, it shows you the work planes. So you have an XY plane where the X-axis and the Y-axis, you have a YZ plane, and you have an XZ plane. For now, we're going to use the XY plane. All right, now we have a grid. So here's 0, 0, the origin. And we're going to start by drawing a 3" by 3" square. Because if you go back to the toy block and if I look at it, the original sketch was 3" by 3". So in the end, it'll be a 3" cube toy block. So I'll go back to my part here, to rectangle. Now I'm going to start at the origin. You see when I move it to the origin, it turns green. You want to see that green, then you click, you drag it. Now you see that it's dark blue. So that's where I'm going to put in my 3". Then I'm going to click tab. I'm going to put another 3 for 3". Then I'm going to hit enter. Now you might be like, well, what happened? Well, you need to use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. So you can zoom out with the mouse wheel. You can also push the mouse wheel down and it becomes a hand to drag your square into the center. This is the start of our toy block. Let me just get rid of this right now. All right, once you have your 3 by 3 square, you'll hit finish sketch. If for some reason it disappears and you can't see it, you can always recenter it by clicking this home button. There's my toy block. Well, the start of it. Now you want to turn it into a 3" by 3" by 3" cube. Notice that right now we only have a height and a width, so this is not 3D. To turn anything 3D, you have to extrude. And if you hover over any of these commands, you'll see it'll tell you more. So it adds depth to a profile. So I'm going to click on that. Notice it starts to come out, but I want it to be 3". I can either type the number or I can click on this arrow and drag out until I get to the number 3. There's 3. Now if I hit enter, then I go to home to recenter. You can see that it is a 3 by 3 by 3 cube. All right, what are we going to do now? Well, the first thing I think we should do is round off the edges. Otherwise, it's going to be dangerous for a young child to play with. So use this fillet tool. You can either change the information by clicking on this down arrow right here to open up this box. And instead of radius 0.125, I'm going to do 0.25 or 1/4 of an inch. And then you can click on the edges that you want to round. So as you can see, every edge that I click on, it highlights white. I'm just rounding off the edges. Now you might be saying, well, how do I get to the edges in the back? Well, if you move here, that's actually showing me there's an edge in the back. So I could click that way, or alternatively, you can click on this view cube up here. Look where my mouse cursor is. You click and hold to drag, you now see the back of it. And I can see those two other edges that have not been rounded. So I'll click there to round there. I'm just one left mouse click. Then you hit OK. And now if I did it correctly, I should be able to look around. All the edges are nice and rounded. I filleted the edges. All right, what's next? Well, we need to start adding some words. Think about who you're going to create this for. If you're designing it for an older, if you're designing for a younger brother or sister who's only a few years old, probably letters is enough. If they're 5 or 4, they're starting to learn some words, you might want to put words on it, but you're going to have to put some text on every side. So let me go back to the one that I've already created. You can see this, that's filleted. Then it's got the different extrusions. Let me delete that. Right click, delete. Okay, never mind. All right. Going back to this part here, you're going to choose a surface. Notice how it lights up white. You're going to right click, you go new sketch. Now I'm going to click and hold the mouse button, the center mouse wheel to move it. Now you have to put text in. So here's a text command up here. Click on that. And then I click and hold just like when you do your screenshots. You release it and now you can put in text. So I could put in L for Lantos. And I can make it much larger by highlighting it first, dragging over with the mouse, and then maybe changing this to, I don't know, 0.9. I can change the color here. Hold on a second. Nope, it's not responding. Give it a second. Yep, there you go. Change the color to purple. You can bold it. You can center it. You can then center it in the middle, like top, middle, bottom. And let me hit OK. There's my L. If you want to make it larger, that's going to be a little bit tricky, but I'll show you in a second. Let's say I'm happy with that. You finish the sketch. Now, in order to make it so that the letters are indented like this is, that's actually using a tool called the Emboss tool. So you go to Emboss. You first click on the thing you want to emboss. See how it turns white? Click once. Then I want to click, see how the arrow is pointing out? I want to click the arrow the other direction, and I want to click the center one that says engrave. So actually we're engraving. Emboss would be if it came out from the surface. Engrave is the other direction. And if you hit OK, now it's been engraved, but I lost my color. So let's talk a little bit about putting color on. If you go up here to the top, this is all materials. So if you wanted to make it out of plastic, here is a plastic one. Now I'll change color slightly. If you wanted to make it out of wood, here is wood. If you just wanted to color, you don't want to make it out of material. Let's say you just want to color that surface, you would click there and you go up here to the other side of the color wheel. And I could choose blue. That makes the surface blue. If I want to color this actual letter inside, you can click on the right view and you can click on the L, and I can come up here and I can color it yellow, and there you have it. So what you need to do is you need to create a toy block that has rounded edges, that has the proper dimensions, and that has letters or words on each side, and also is very colorful, something that Willy Wonka is going to want to buy from you as it starts its new toy business, or it expands its business into toys. I hope you have fun doing that. Okay, this extra part here is just a little bit of more advanced stuff. So you have all you need to know to make that. Let me just do some advanced stuff. So if I want to put a new sketch here, you can also click here, start new sketch, and then click on the surface. And let's say I have an older, younger sibling, so I want to put some words. So I go back to text box again. And what kinds of words are young children who haven't quite gone to school yet learning? They're probably learning things like dog or cat. Since, you know, Mr. Lantos has 2 cats, I'll choose cat. And then I'm going to change this to 1 inch. And I'm going to center it and then put it in the middle. So if I click OK, there's cat. Then you click Finish Sketch, and then you click on the words cat. You click on Emboss. I'm sorry, you should actually click Emboss first. Then you choose the word. Now, if you actually want to emboss it, then it's already set with this, and you notice the arrow is pointing out. So if I click OK, notice how emboss brings something up from the surface. Bear in mind, I don't know if emboss is the best tool for doing creating a toy block for young children because it might have sharp edges and cut them. Then if I wanted to color this, I can choose each letter by highlighting over it. In fact, this is the top view, so let me go to the top. And I can just choose the colors, make it colorful. There are tons of colors in here. Just scroll through. Let's choose light red. Just when it's all white on the outline, click. And let's choose pink. And this one, let's choose purple, not cadet blue, yellow, that's fine. Now, when you've completed this, you're going to hit home so that you have a view like this again. I mean, mine's not completed. I still have to put letters here, and then on the other sides, on the bottom. Notice that this is our isometric view, right? You can see the front, the right side, and the top, but then you can also click on individual views. So here's the front view. Zoom out with the mouse wheel. Here's the side view, the right side view. Here's the top view. So notice how what we've been drawing, we're now creating on the computer. Then you're going to save it. I would save it as toy block, your name, and then whatever period you are. So period, 3A or 4A. Assume that this is 3A since that's the first class that's going to see it. Then let's save. And the way you're going to turn it in is you're actually going to have to export it to PDF before you turn it in. So you have to go up here to the I. Here it says export, and it gives you some different file formats. So I would export to PDF. And again, name it toy block your name period 3A. It's a PDF. Then when you save it, it's going to create a PDF. The first time this Adobe PDF reader opens up, it might ask you to accept. Just click accept. When you see this is the file. I mean, mine is incomplete at this point. You'll have put letters and colors on every side, make it very interesting so Willy Wonka wants to buy it from you. You're going to turn this file in. So this is what you're going to have to upload to the turn-in on BCPS1. All right, I hope you had fun and enjoy.